What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JB Sports back again with another one. I'm going to talk about Canelo Alvarez, aka Cinnamon. He's expected to relinquish his all his 160-pound titles. As you know, Jose Suleiman and the WBC franchised Canelo Alvarez and made him the franchise champion and elevated Jamal Charlo to the full WBC champion. And what this means is Canelo is expected to go up to 168 or possibly go up to 175. This is what it is. This is what's going on, folks. I think you remember when he first went to the zone, he fought Rocky Fielding at 168, and that was a prelude. That was like what you call a dry run, a trial run in 168, just to see how he can handle the weight. Was his power there, and how he could match up at that weight class? And you see, he destroyed Rocky Fielding. Now, Rocky Fielding is basically a European, UK level fighter. He's not a world level fighter. So, it's not a lot you can draw from that fight. But what Canelo and his people did draw from that fight was that he was able to make the weight comfortably, and he still had his power, and he had a real speed advantage at that weight class. So I think what you're probably going to look at him doing next is fighting Callum Smith. Both of the guys are on the zone. It's an easier fight to make. Callum Smith is with Eddie Hearn. He fought on the Anthony Joshua, Andy Ruiz undercard June 1st at Madison Square Garden. So I think that was pretty much almost like a dead giveaway to what's gonna probably happen next, man. You look at Canelo, like I say, everybody know he signed a big deal with the zone. So I think that's be the fight naturally to make. I know it's been a lot of speculation about Sergey Kovalev, but I'm gonna debunk that right now. Sergey Kovalev, first of all, he's got a fight lined up with Yard. I think the problem with that fight is they're having problems with Russian money. I don't think the money is there. So that fight could be in jeopardy, because I think one of the reasons why Yard and Frank Warren accepted that fight was they were gonna get paid 4 or 5 times what they previously made. That was just gonna be a big money fight for them to fight over there in Russia. That Russian money was supposedly be huge for Anthony Yard. So I think they were gonna take that fight, and hopefully they can catch Kovalev on the downside of his career. He's 36 years old. Even if they did lose that fight, they're young enough where they can rebuild his career. It was basically a win-win situation for Yard. But with the Russian money not being there, a lot of people are speculating that fight might take, he might move on from that fight and fight Canelo instead. But the problem with that is Top Rank and Bob Arum, I think, have options on Sergey Kovalev. After he beat Edler, I know I'm butchering his name, Edler Alvarez, after he beat him in a rematch, Top Rank, ESPN, and Bob Arum have options on his next fight. And I think his next fight probably has to be on ESPN and has to be up under the Top Rank umbrella. And that's going to cause a problem if you expected him to go to the zone and fight under the Golden Boy Promotions fight with Canelo Alvarez. So I think that's going to be the hurdle that's going to probably prevent that fight from happening. I don't know if Bob Arum has one option or 2 options on Kovalev and Kat in main events. I don't know, but I know his next fight, he has an option on his next fight, at least his next fight. So I think that's going to prevent that from happening. So look for Kovalev to in Yard, if that fight can't get made in Russia, for that fight to maybe go to the UK or maybe come to the US. But I think that fight is definitely next for Kovalev. So with that being said, man, I think you need to look at Canelo versus Callum Smith. I think that's going to be the next fight to be made. And you look for that fight to happen on September 14th, Mexican Independence Day. The issue will be, the question will be, will that fight be in Wembley Stadium, where you might get 60,000 people in there? Want to see a world level fighter like Canelo, an international fighter like Canelo Alvarez. Maybe they can draw 60,000 for him versus Callum Smith, or will they put that fight in Las Vegas at T-Mobile Arena? Basically the home of Canelo Alvarez when he's fighting in the U.S. We'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens, man. Or maybe that's what we're probably looking at. Maybe AT&T Stadium. I just thought about that. He fought Liam Smith. I think they had 40,000 people when he fought Liam Smith. Had a real good draw, did a real good gate in Cowboy Stadium. And Liam Smith was not on the level of a Callum Smith, but as far as level-wise, skill-wise, but as far as known-wise in the U.S., they probably both are not that. They both not known as Liam Smith wasn't known going into the Canelo fight. But Callum Smith will be, under the same situation. It's not a very well-known fighter in the U.S., but as we know, Canelo is the drawing power, and he can pretty much carry a promotion with his name by itself. So we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens, man. It's a shame that Jamal Charlo wanted to get that fight with Canelo. To me, that was him, Canelo, and Andre were the three best fighters at 160. And I would like to see kind of like a round robin between them three guys to find out who was actually the best at 160. We'll never know because it looks like Canelo is moving up to 168. And hopefully we can get Andrade if he gets by Lucky, and Charlo if he gets by Adams. Hopefully that'll be the next big fight at 160 and find out who is the king at 160. But a lot of people going to say Canelo ducked the situation, but another thing, as we can say, a lot of UK fans are probably gonna be happy about the situation. A UK fighter like Callum Smith get a shot at Canelo, they're gonna be happy about the situation. They're gonna say Jamal Charlo hasn't proven himself at 160, but you need to have that same intensity and have that same understanding when it comes to Dylan White. Who has he fought to deserve a shot at Dylan White? To deserve a shot at Deontay Wilder at heavyweight. He's in the same situation as Jamal Charlo. He's knocking at the door, wanting to fight with Deontay Wilder. And a lot of you guys say Deontay Wilder should fight him. So he should have that same energy with Jamal Charlo. He should fight Canelo. He should have fought Canelo. Now Canelo's moving up. And if you say Deontay Wilder's ducking Dylan White, then have that same energy and say that Canelo is ducking Jamal Charlo. But you're not gonna say that, especially if he give a shot at a UK fighter like Callum Smith. You overlook that and be happy for that fight and overlook that. So like I said, you just got to play it even on both sides. That's all I'm saying. I'm about to get back to work, man. Just giving you a quick update, man. A quick rundown on Canelo Alvarez, expected to move up to 168. This is JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend. I'll holler.